Just silencing I'm silencing one of my sorry, I'm just silencing edit, delete them all. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Won't be any more problems. Yes, I went to a class today in central London, and it's the one run normally by my tutor, but she's been replaced for some reason or other by somebody else, and the whole thing is different, and I felt really uncomfortable, and I didn't actually get around to reading these two poems. Sorry, voice is gone as well. Rather long poems. Confessions of an aesthete of working class origins. Can you hear me? Yeah. For much of my life, I was firmly convinced that principled self-scrutiny would lead me to all the secrets of human nature I needed to know. So where possible, sex was cerebral and the intellect functioned as an impregnable moat or chastity belt. And to further protect my jewel of self, I would shelter behind symbols, even as they were being disconstructed, for I lacked the courage of true confession, seeing its innate power to shatter so brutally all my most cherished citadels of denial. By such means, I hoped I would become a hierophant of an entirely new religion, in which I would create or encounter hitherto inexpressible vistas of beauty, wherein I could fashion icons of the ephemeral, the fragmentary, and the contingent. To this end, I knowingly made use of misunderstood scraps of science, pseudoscience, and literary theory, in order to dazzle others of myself, so that I might achieve rarefied mental states, especially that of victory and defeat, for I had the secret self-martyring pride of a heretic. As a consequence, I was generally uncertain of my own bearings and became lost in the arcane subtleties of a private world, ever fearing that I might become a dark, loveless angel, enclosed and desiccating within some crumbling necropolis of the self. And above all, I tried to shun any form of self-revelation, so as to evade the unwanted and slippery empathy of astute critics and their pitiless Gorgon gaze. Deep down, I was imbued with an absolute need to escape from a world in which I felt I had been wrongly entombed. So by degrees, it became my firm intention to ignore the tumult in my soul and take a spiritual leap into existential darkness. To this end, it is my implacable intention to pursue new and shining pathways by means of self-analysis and cultural artifice. Regrettably, none of the above came to pass, and what follows is an altogether imperfect account of a life largely spent in pursuing various will-o'-the-wisps, which simply revealed, which I now see as my own innate ordinariness and folly. Hoping this may be of use to you in some way or other. Yes, it is a very long poem that's suitable only for whatever. Not one I'd normally read. It's not sort of an entertainment or bust sort of. Anyhow, thanks for hearing it.
Did you not want to do another one at the moment?
I've got another one, but do we do a second time round?
Oh yes, certainly, yeah.
Yeah,
that was a wonderful poem. It was it's very thought provoking, and it took us. I'm sure we all gone down those avenues. It took us places. It's a very, very lovely poem.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm glad you liked it or appeared to like it.
I certainly did. Yeah, yeah.
But it's quite sort of hard work. In fact, although it seemed like comic, it's in fact absolutely true.
Yeah, it strikes chords, doesn't it? It strikes chords.
Yeah, you reveal your soul, and it's like it's uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. It's very serious, and it's not the sort of thing I would do if I was going to do entertainment or bust.
No. But I can see while you were reading it, our faces on the screens, that everybody was engaged with it. So it was very good. Thank you, Jim.
Anyhow, thank you for listening.
Yeah. Okay, Vivian.
Yep.
You good to go?
Yeah, sure. I've got three shortish ones. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Two are by me and one is not, but I'll explain about that in a minute. Okay. First one of mine is called When Time Doesn't Matter. Time doesn't matter. It's always there, whether we like it or not. Moving forwards, onwards, an abstract, not caring what goes on. Something we observe but can do nothing about. Dates, appointments, birth, death, a million other things that we do every day, governed by time. The sun marks the passing of the day, moon and stars at night, till skies lighten at dawn once more. Marks that another day has passed for us. Every day we get older. Every day we will age, like dust gradually gathering on a mantelpiece, until one day it will be our turn, not our choice, but time's. Okay. The next one, it's on the theme of Around the House, which is Croydon Library's poetry theme for this month. I wrote two. I'm reading another one tomorrow, and this is the one I'm reading now. And I've called it A Sense of Place. Pictures on the wall, TV in the corner, chairs at the dining table, vase of flowers on the windowsill. Don't move from that spot, are always there. In the kitchen, cupboards remain the same. Your favourite mug sits on the mug tree. Kettle on the worktop, ready to give you a cuppa. Bedroom and bathroom too, have their familiar comforts. Bedside table, lamp, books, and comfy slippers. You can draw the curtains, shut out the outside world. Enjoy the coziness of being indoors. Feel safe and warm, with the old and familiar always in place. Okay, and the last one I've got, I was away a couple of weekends ago, and when I arrived back, there was a package, and in it was this book. Sorry, you can't see it. You probably can't see it very well. It was Ari's latest book. It's called Culture is Just a Matter of Taste. Okay, and I read some of the poems, and he always makes me smile. And I just picked this one to read tonight. So this is by Ari, not me. It's called Jagged. All around the path is mountains of jagged glass. At my shoulder, under feet. Even the air is jagged when I breathe. My tears fall sharp side down onto the glass jagged ground. When I walk, my insides clatter. When I talk, my voice is shattered. My heart cracks as it pounds. Blood runs freely all around. But inside, it points and snags, caught by twists and jags. The pointed edges from within jut through my stained glass skin. All I am from head to toe, a painting by Picasso. Who can heal this broken man? No mystic with his healing hands. Only woman holds the balm to hold me gently in warm arms. I loved that.
Good choice, Vivian. Good choice.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's one of our. That's a brilliant one from Ari, isn't it? And
oh, it's brilliant. Yeah.
Also, I like the way you kind of look at objects and find meaning. You look at time and you relate it to, you know, as both a concept and the natural things that go on. It's very nice poems. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So did you write that, Vivian? That was
not that last one. No,
Ari
the first two I did.
Right, it's still mature. You're a lot more mature, your poetry, I thought.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, the first two were Vivian's, and the last one was Ariane Destiny. But they were all three really good poems. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not so easy to tell apart, actually.
No, they're all quite meaningful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mohammed.
Good evening.
Right. What you got for us, please?
It's nice to see you. We missed you the last time.
Oh, thank you.
Baby says she's mine, you know. She tells me all the time, you know. She said so. I'm in love with her and I feel fine. Recorded on the 18th of October, I believe. So I thought I should do it a little bit of justice. Okay. Yeah, the Great Beatles. I'm obsessed by them, I suppose. Okay, so my poem following that is The Giant Pawing Cat of Catford. The anticipation I have is a turning point, the rotation round a common center, planets round the sun, electrons round an atomic center, going round the same points to arrive at the same conclusions. A rock here, a lump there, nodes and modules, cares and technicalities. Every day goes by with everyday concerns and more. Day turns to day with ants and heaves. The Perth becomes a blue dot, important in a huge world of cares and stars, the end of wars. Joints and nodules gather, the cells and globes in the calves. They know and hide, throwing their horrid mind missiles, disturbing in class, their pain in their muscles and bones rankling. The loo pot continues, they flounder and fly away to who knows where. The curving and curbing go on, and praise and cheers find the white holes that let out to the hives and urns. Cold, cold October. The mice escape to find roots and roots. Scuttle of mice, sharp nails and teeth to cut into flesh or rinds. The anticipation comes. A past, a blast, a stepstone. Owning another perf reinforces as performer. The sounds indoor become twined with bloodstream ego streaking. They strike again and again to try to break down the moral fiber. Their failures pile up like dead baby dragons trying to be nasty or Nazi, sick and poo all over the place. Again, they pretend to have the upper hand, taking the mick, lying, looking pale and sick, wondering how else to hurt. My resolve hardens like new pear tree branches emerging. I avoid all the sick stupidity and try to tackle the terror of those who are enemies with their bombs and guns, their eyes of hatred, their disregard for life and dignity. I disturb them from afar, free to be an agent of change, 57 years tucked into the brain. I anticipate my work to be double for honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. That was some poem.
Yeah, it's a little longer than I usually write. But,
it was almost classical. It was almost classical. You know, it
thank
was,
you.
Yeah, brilliant. I just love the linkages and everything in there. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks.
We do have part two. I hope you'll be around for that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And your computer seems better, doesn't it? Because we were having tremendous problems in the past with
I figured out it was the same problem as before, because I think last year I was taking it up to my study room. The computer was in the study room, and the reception I think is bad. I think over here in the living room I'm better.
Well, it's excellent. It's excellent now. Actually, all of you are coming across really clear, and it's really good. Yeah. So, Heather, good evening. Can we hear from you?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. I haven't forgotten you, Nick.
I thought that was last. I think Nick was before.
I know. I just changed it because I'm going male, female, male, female. So I need you to,
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Hashtag.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. This one is called, this one's a longish one, but not very long, and two very small ones, the size of a haiku. This one's called After the Plague. Oh, they're both my own, by the way. Because I can't see it. The lock it soon opened a new. I need to turn the other light on. Sorry, I can't see it, my eyesight. Okay. Okay, sorry. After the plague. The lock it soon opened a new sunrise did come. In brightest of rays that glowed through our glum. Snowflakes now welcomed tickling the face. In all shapes and sizes a welcomed embrace. The cheerful, less mournful freedom, we cried. Smiles replacing the many who died. Echoes of emptiness now bristling with glee. Deafening laughter echoes the greens. Freedom, oh yes, as clansmen once screamed. Frustration of lock-in rained down on the we. As an avalanche of feet escaped many a block. Blocks that are high and wide and round. Fleeing they did from their boring ill luck. Months of fat glut, the body now wrecked. But tired no more shall they be of this fret. Yet crows do perch, knowing a future now set. Too well they do know how this will play yet. Too well they do know of delusioned good luck. For the lark listens keenly for this to last not. As the waters of Venice once again favors the black, a new pall of darkness is threatening our lot. It awaits with patience for this great shift, from which no escape to a park can fathom our fits. For what happened back then was merely a blip. And the second one, two wee little poems. The first one's called Alive. They say I am dead, yet I am not. Come closer, my sweet, and see. Hello. The second one is Far Off Love. How can I find love when the love that I yearn for is free of all fervor? And that's it.
The poetry in this group just get better and better and better. I mean, that first poem was wonderful. Thank you, Heather.
I'd like to have what I would suggest is next time organise a light so you can read straight into the, like, see your face.
Eye level, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I think when you read, your face changes position on the screen.
Oh,
And then
right. Okay.
you can act out the whatevers,
Yeah.
like you're facing like that. Yeah, okay. Fine.
Thank you.
Thank
you for that.
But the poem was fantastic. I mean,
my next poem in the second half, I'm actually going to take my face off the screen because you need to take it in without using the senses of sight.
Yeah, that's true.
When we take away the sense of sight, then we our hearing gets stronger.
True.
Yeah, that'd be the next poem though.
Yeah, but both you and Mohammed, when you were reading, I got a strong impression of the kind of flavour of T.S. Eliot coming through, like Wasteland stuff. It was wonderful images, and really good, really good. Anyway, I'm going to move on to Nick now. Sorry to change the order, Nick.
All right.
Yep.
Actually, mine are better if you don't look at me as well, but that's just because I'm ugly. Benches. There was a time benches were just benches, a place for living walkers to rest and think, not also memorials to dead names and dates. But now these simple wooden structures, machine-made to standardized designs, bring knowledge that this place mattered to someone as deeply as it does to me. That beauty is surely worth preserving, well beyond our individual mortal spans. The heritage is not just built, but found in the landscape that surrounds us. Stage magicians. Playing in the fuscous afterglow of evening, the band starts up in minor chords, summoning those lost souls, the pioneers of their mystic arts, who led them to the shores of feeling. Not ready quite yet to plunge into the melody, we hang listening to vibrating strings and echo chambers in the hearts of instruments, tuned to draw our senses out. The players tease out the full panoply of human needs, desires and fears for unrequited love, unmet dreams, tantalizingly glimpsed in wordless vocal lines when voice and guitar converse as equals. Only then the lyrics bite, pull us forward, draw us raw before the mouth of Orpheus to tell us stories we believe entirely. Reliving in the moment every counterpoint and resonance of our own existence.
Do you want to do another one now, Nick, or do you want to? It's up to you.
Oh, I'll treat you to a third one, shall I?
Yeah, because we've got loads of time.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, go on, go for it.
Sonnet number 1525. Respair, the recovery of hope. The only recording of respair as a noun comes from the writing of Andrew of Wintoun prior to 1525. It's funny because he was a prior, but you know. It was also a verb in Middle English in use between 1150 and 1500. And I found it because Susie Dent wrote about it. And I love Susie Dent. She's a very positive person. At the nadir of existence lives respair, a feeling so uncommon that the word was almost lost, the irony of which would not escape anyone who needed it. Respair is the torchlight that leads you homeward from an unfamiliar, beset place when the battery is almost discharged, but just holds out to see you to your threshold. It follows that far more familiar cousin word, if you have the inner strength or outer help, if just this once fickle fortune reaches out and places this strange idea within your head, to trust in such a deeply buried notion from the medieval lexicon of life.
Thanks, Nick. Lovely, 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 lovely. I like the benches one as well, the one you started with. That was, and you make a good point in a poetic way. Yeah.
It's also a nice bench behind me, which doesn't
I've noticed that. Yeah,
any kind of a label on it.
Pinocchio's buggered off. You've got a nice bench behind you now.
Yeah, I don't know where he went.
No.
Maybe this was his wish.
Yeah, they might have used his wood for him for the bench, but maybe. Anyway. Oh.
Surely not.
I have all the children crying now, won't we? Peter, from your medieval room.
Yes, well, it's medieval Zoom behind me. I'm going to read a couple of poems by James Fenton. I think, Nick, you read the one about Jerusalem before at some point in the past.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a poem called Jerusalem, which was written in 1988. Stone cries to stone, heart to heart, heart to stone, and the interrogation will not die, for there is no eternal city, and there is no pity, and there is nothing underneath the sky, no rainbow and no guarantee. There is no covenant between your God and me. It is superb in the air. Suffering is everywhere, and each man wears his suffering like a skin. My history is proud. Mine is not allowed. This is the cistern where all wars begin, the laughter from the armored car. This is the man who won't believe you're what you are. This is your fault. This is a crusader vault. The brook of Kidron flows from Mir Shiram. I will pray for you. I will tell you what to do. I'll stone you. I shall break your every limb. Oh, I'm not afraid of you, but maybe I should fear the things you make me do. This is not Golgotha. This is the Holy Sepulchre, the Emperor Hadrian's temple to a love which he did not much share. Golgotha could be anywhere. Jerusalem itself is on the move. It leaps and leaps from hill to hill, and as it makes its way, it also makes its will. The city was sacked, Jordan was driven back, the pious Christians burned the Jews alive. This is a minaret. I'm not finished yet. We're waiting for reinforcements to arrive. What was your mother's real name? Would it be safe today to go to Bethlehem? This is the garden tomb. No, this is the garden tomb. I'm an Armenian. I'm a Copt. This is Utopia. I came here from Ethiopia. This hole is where the flying carpet dropped the prophet off to pray one night, and from here 1 hour later he resumed his flight. Who packed your bag? I packed my bag. Where was your uncle's mother's sister born? Have you ever met an Arab? Yes, I am a scarab. I am a worm. I am a thing of scorn. I cry, impure from street to street, and see my degradation in the eyes I meet. I am your enemy. This is Gethsemane. The broken graves look to the Temple Mount. Tell me now, tell me when shall we all rise again? Shall I be first in that great body count? When shall the tribes be gathered in? When? Tell me, when shall the last things begin? You are in error. This is terror. This is your banishment. This land is mine. This is what you earn. This is the law of no return. This is the sour dough. This the sweet wine. This is my history. This my race. And this unhappy man threw acid in my face. Stone cries to stone, heart to heart, heart to stone. These are the warrior archaeologists. This is us, and that is them. This is Jerusalem. These are the dying men with tattooed wrists. Do this, and I'll destroy your home. I have destroyed your home. You have destroyed my home. A very powerful poem, particularly now. And now, on a lighter note, in Paris with you. Don't talk to me of love. I've had an earful, and I get tearful when I've drowned a drink or two. I'm one of your talking wounded. I'm a hostage. I'm marooned, but I'm in Paris with you. Yes, I'm angry at the way I've been bamboozled and resentful at the mess that I've been through. I admit I'm on the rebound, and I don't care where we are bound. I'm in Paris with you. Do you mind if we do not go to the Louvre? If we say sod off to sodding Notre Dame? If we skip the Champs-Élysées and remain here in this sleazy old hotel room, doing this and that to what and whom, learning who you are, learning what I am? Don't talk to me of love. Let's talk of Paris. The little bit of Paris in our view. There's that crack across the ceiling, and the hotel walls are peeling, and I'm in Paris with you. Don't talk to me of love. Let's talk of Paris. I'm in Paris with the slightest thing you do. I'm in Paris with your eyes, your mouth. I'm in Paris with all points south. Am I embarrassing you? I'm in Paris with you.
I love that poem so much. I love James Fenton. He's a
Yeah,
fantastic
yes.
poet.
He is. Right, so, can I read just one more called
Yes.
Tiananmen, which again is another one about history. Tiananmen. Tiananmen is broad and clean, and you can't tell where the dead have been, and you can't tell what happened then, and you can't speak of Tiananmen. You must not speak, you must not think, you must not dip your brush in ink, you must not say what happened then, what happened there in Tiananmen. The cruel men are old and deaf, ready to kill, but short of breath, and they will die like other men, and they'll lie in state in Tiananmen. They lie in state, they lie in style. Another lies thrown on the pile by the cruel old men to cleanse the blood from Tiananmen. Truth is a secret, keep it dark in your heart of hearts, keep it dark till you know when truth may return to Tiananmen. Tiananmen is broad and clean, and you can't tell where the dead have been, and you can't tell when they'll come again. They'll come again to Tiananmen.
It's wonderful. There's such power when the journalist becomes a poet, you know, because you can tell he's been there and he feels it.
Yes, yes,
you know.
yes, they are powerful poems.
Yeah. Thank you for those. I've got to follow that. It annoyed me. Well, it didn't annoy me. It kind of, I was angry with myself because I'd missed World Poetry Day this year. And I wondered why. So I kind of reflected on it and wrote this. World Poetry Day slipped by me this year. I did not hear any voices singing. In the silence, there were no bells ringing, for there seems little joy in times of fear. 4 horsemen are near. I hear only hooves clattering all around the Holy Land. In muteness, my sonnets seem somehow banned by the crashing of bombs on tents and roofs. When my pen finds a voice and cries again over so many with worlds blown apart, flee into nowhere on foot or by cart, I resent my comfort amid such pain and stay sickened by words like self-defense, where caring for life seems but a pretense. Yeah, that's that one. And this one, I didn't have a title for, but I think I'll call it Last Wishes of a Selfish Man. Lay me down in unmarked ground where none might come to see, to satisfy curiosity and wonder over me. Leave me in a far-off woodland glade where strong opinions never played, where the prayers were never prayed, a place where bigotry never stayed. Let me moulder there unseen by those who thought my views unclean, those ill in spirit, of ungenerous mind, and arrogance that was all mankind. Leave me the embarrassment that I own, my non-achievements left unknown. To those I hurt, let me stay unmissed. To past lovers, forget the times we ever kissed. Let my slow decay remain unnoticed, no lamenting, no eulogies posted, unmarked, unknown, unmourned, ungrieved. What worth I have is here achieved, donating my form for the soil to feed. Leave me as one who knew spit and fist, who learnt life's failures just too well. Give up the ghost to cease to exist, so death's release can free life's hell. Let me be a smudge of grey earth, be elevated above my worth, pissed on by rain, passed over by days, wiped, removed, passed on, erased. Let rot a heart that cared only for self-harm, remove the useless stance of the unembracing arm, the maggot between my legs devoured by the worm, the brain burrowed by roots without concern. Let unknown shoes tread upon my corpse, as strangers stroll their ignorant course, or possibly dance upon the grave, their offence not intended, nor none made. Let time's passing fossilize the bone, the petrified marrow becoming stone, without a media historian touching me, telling her audience with salacious glee of her archaeological discovery. Leave out time's curse if it should hold one atom of the life it told, nor 1 millisecond past the day when I am subsumed by my decay. Leave not my poison in such ground, not one tear, one sigh, one sob, one sound. Let none come, let none grieve. Leave me leaf cover as I leave. Right, that's it. Cup of tea time.
Yeah, this is the Poetry Library at one time was a really special place. You could go there and you'd meet people that you'd met in classes and stuff like that. Nowadays, it seems to be just like nothing. Really, it seems like empty and like no soul or anything, and full of books that nobody actually goes and looks at. It's felt like, oh. Anyhow, when the Poetry Library feels unappreciated, on such days, staff and clients are made fully aware of the sufferings they cause, the bruise of their corporate tread on floorboards, the moans of over-squeezed pencils, the brutal laceration of its stationery. On such days, books are torn from the comfort of its shelves by pitiless and rapacious fingers, then prized open like penitential oysters that have dwelled too long in constant fear, hope of rigorous and enforced sexual reawakenings. On such days, it feels like an agitated Orpheus, torn to pieces by Maenads, a Prometheus, liver lacerated by starving eagles, a wretched Marsyas being flayed alive, or a voyeuristic Actaeon pulled down and devoured by his own once adoring hounds. On such days, the library howls as if in the presence, as if at the entrance to Hades, lost in mythologies, its vision further darkened by infernos, purgatories, shattered icons, and landscapes strewn with eviscerated remnants of once illustrious potentates of verse. On such days, the staff shiver like novice monks and nuns, make every attempt to demonstrate that they care. You're both needed and loved, they whisper. Don't you patronize me? It shrieks, don't you bloody well dare. On such days, the Poetry Library seems confused, self-absorbed, and falling apart. A deeply flawed entity altogether, lacking its usual modesty and restraint. Or might that just be me? Thank you.
Do you want to do another one, Jim, or are you okay for now?
Oh, yeah, I'm okay for now. I don't think I've got another one actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe a bit later on. Yeah, I'll look for
yeah.
one. Yeah, okay, right. Thanks a lot.
Okay. So vandalism comes to the South Bank, eh? With your poetry library. I'm glad I'm out of London. Yeah. Okay. Vivian, are you okay?
Okay, I'm just going to read these two and then I'm going to shoot off if that's all right. Anyway, the first one is one I wrote a while ago. When I can't write, I very often just look at other poems and pinch lines off them and see where it takes me. I'm sure we've all done that. This was a poem I wrote about winter, and I pinched a line from Walter de la Mare's poem Snow, and I called it No Breath of Wind because that is the first line. No breath of wind in the cold, crisp air. No sound or movement that we are aware. We watch the winter from our cosy place. Fire is blazing. This is our space. Snow keeps falling. What do we care? Winter's not inside. No need to go out there. The Christmas tree's up, ready for the day. It's just us two, and here we'll stay. Season celebration takes place right here. Maybe cold outside, but a great time of year. I know it's a bit premature, that one, but it's not quite winter yet. But anyway, this other one I'm doing, I'm just doing two on this session. It's another one from Ari's book, and it's called Tide. It came crashing through the door with a trembling splinter and a deafening roar. All arms and faces and teeth. Caught in his armchair, he was swallowed beneath the falling baton and rising boot. Blood the flower of hatred's root. Too many men poured through the breach for him to escape their reach. beaten silent because his speech sought to free those he sought to teach. The despot tyrant had heard his hurtful, stinging, harmful words, and sought to stop up his breath, to have his life or his death. And so the rushing tide came in, with dreadful surge and mighty din, to smother and plough over him, to break bone, to break skin. But worse than all that they say is that the tyrant changed the play. And instead of death did as tyrants may, and ordered the tide to take him away.
Nicely read.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm going to shoot now.
Okay, Vivian. Thanks.
All
for
right. Nice
coming.
to see everybody. Okay. Bye now.
Bye.
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 Bye. Mohammed, can we have you now, please?
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Picasso to Forever. Picasso, sketcher, painter with a mission. Prolific, as we always find, and picking up is easier. Except when chucking away is better, like when forgetting the clever art. But then, happily, remembering Picasso at a glance, a look that embedded in admiration and adoring, there will always be free, bright minds.
Nice.
Okay. And the next one is Pic Gaudi. Picasso and Gaudi. Pic Gaudi, the beast roaming to show all how easy 'tis to paw bare paw all the way to the heights of artistry. There's heat waves in the air, getting people to run away. In a face-to-face, there's a wave, nothing much to say. I don't speak much anyway. The port was neatly centered. Pic Gaudi bulged a bit to flex some of the body, seen by bees to mean curve, and the sense to seem lures. I thought I saw an unusual building with high ceilings and a set of conies or balconies. I thought I sensed living in creatures' interiors. There is a streak of blue or self-portrait, howdy mates, where I encounter an obstacle. It spills into people's limbs and then turns into gas. I got put together for a spree into dancing life, the intermission. Death, the voyage, is an intermission.
Something came on top of my screen. Sorry, I couldn't respond straight away. Yeah.
No problem.
Yes, death is an intermission. Yeah. It's a long intermission, isn't it, Death?
Yes, because I suppose if there's an afterlife, it's an intermission, and if it's
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
a long
believe in that, yeah.
intermission.
Yeah.
And
if
I
you
would,
believe in that.
I anticipate an afterlife. You see.
All right. Okay. Very good. Okay. Nick's turned into a machine of some sort, so he can't read at the moment. No, he hasn't. Oh, he's
I'm
there.
sitting in
Is
the
he?
car.
Right.
It's very hard to get far enough back to be in the car.
Is
I'm very
it,
comfortable sitting here.
it's a
I
very
might have to
tilted
sit up.
car.
Sorry?
It's very tilted against the background. It looks like you almost.
Yeah, that's because I have
Rich
to
or
move the thing. Is that better?
Yeah.
Nope.
But we're going to go to Heather first.
The
anyway,
background was very tilted. It was quite a hill,
Nick.
All right. Oh, that's all right.
and the northern lights behind it.
It's
Yes.
very nice. Going to Heather first anyway, so who's not lit up in a car?
And Mohammed, as somebody who's had a near-the-death experience, there is an afterlife. I definitely went somewhere.
Oh, wow.
When I died. Anyway, I was on holiday a few weeks ago, and I took this book with me, and it's called The Aramaic Jesus. And it's basically translating all his teachings into the original Aramaic form. And this one I'm going to recite to you is the Lord's Prayer, but in Aramaic, took me a long time to get the pronunciation. I had kept listening to it hours a day. And it's interesting because the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic is more science, more quantum science than what we read in the King James Version. But just listen to the Aramaic and just tell me, doesn't matter that you can't understand it, your soul will understand it, but it doesn't matter if you can't understand it, but just how it feels, because I've recited it to some people and they all said the same thing. So it'd be interesting to hear what you have to say. I won't bother block my face out, but I'll just read. Okay. The Lord's Prayer, as we know it, but it's called Abunda Shmaya. Abunda Shmaya. Netkad Shmach. Tete Malkutach. Nechwe Tsevyana Kaikana de Bashmai Afba'a. Haflan Lakma de Sun Kanan Yaumana. Washboklan Kaubain Wachtehain. Aikana Dafkanan Shabakan Lakaya Bain. Wela Talen Lenes Yuna. Ela Patsan Min Bisha. Metol de la He Malkuta. Wahela Wateshbukta. La Alam Almin. Amen. And that's it.
Do you want responses now? Or
Yeah.
it sounds very moving and fervent to me. It sounds very Arabic in some ways as well. It kind of,
Aramaic is like a cross between Hebrew and
oh right,
Arabic,
okay, yeah, but it's I didn't understand the words, but I got the
No.
feelings. Anyone else want to say? Oh, no. Oh, it's interesting. Yeah. Do you want another one for us, Heather?
Oh, I don't actually.
No?
No, I don't. Sorry, no, I
Okay.
don't.
All right. We'll move on to Peter then in his strange vehicle. No, Nick
Nick in his strange vehicle.
Nick in his strange
Oh,
vehicle.
me.
Peter's in the sunset.
I was waiting for Peter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me turn the lights up so I can actually read my book. Washes me out, I'm afraid. Anyway. James Fenton. Why not? Can't have enough. In a notebook. There was a river overhung with trees, with wooden houses built along its shallows, from which the morning sun drew up a haze, and the gyrations of the early swallows paid no attention to the gentle breeze, which spoke discreetly from the weeping willows. There was a jetty by the forest clearing, where a small boat was tugging at its mooring. And night still lingered underneath the eaves. In the dark houseboats, families were stirring, and Chinese soup was cooked on charcoal stoves. Then one by one there came into the clearing mothers and daughters, bowed beneath their sheaves. The silent children gathered round me staring, and the shy soldiers setting out for battle asked for a cigarette and laughed a little. From low canoes, old men laid out their nets, while on the bank young boys with lines were fishing. The wicker traps were drawn up by their floats. The girls stood waist deep in the river washing, or tossed the day's rice on enamelled plates. And I sat drinking bitter coffee, wishing the tide would turn to bring me to my senses after the pleasant war and the evasive answers. There was a river overhung with trees. The girls stood waist deep in the river washing, and night still lingered underneath the eaves, while on the bank young boys with lines were fishing, mothers and daughters bowed beneath their sheaves, while I sat drinking bitter coffee, wishing, and the tide turned and brought me to my senses. The pleasant war brought the unpleasant answers. The villages are burnt, the city's void, the morning light has left the river view. The distant followers have been dismayed, and I'm afraid, reading this passage now, that everything I knew has been destroyed by those whom I admired but never knew. The laughing soldiers fought to their defeat, and I'm afraid most of my friends are dead. So, Planet Cleanser, I suppose. This is by Kazu Ishiguro, and it's called So Romantic. You always had a taste for those movies like Casablanca and Song of My Heart, where a complicated world or the call of adventure forces true lovers to part. When the hero turns his back so stoically on all the happiness they might have had, you always considered it so romantic, but I just considered it sad. It was so like you to choose such a moment, the sun setting over the square, a pavement cafe, the local children at play, the sound of an accordion somewhere. You suddenly said fate was pulling us apart, then you shrugged like there was nothing more to add. I suppose you considered it so romantic. Well, I just considered it sad. Perhaps, sorry, one more. Perhaps you're living in America now. Perhaps you're in Timbuktu. A small part of me, even after this time, has never stopped waiting for you. To live in this state of hoping, when hoping seems so utterly mad, I can't help but consider that so romantic, though I know I should consider it sad.
Wow, what a
Yeah,
poet.
I've got one here, George. You'd
Mm.
ask.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I've got two here, but I just want to read one. One's called Watching Some Old Movie. Have I read that before? I wish it was as happy now as I once used to be. You and me.
I don't recall it, but anyway, even
Okay.
if you have, please read it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you've read it, if you haven't heard it, yeah. It's called Watching Some Old Movie. It's actually a song. Watching Some Old Movie. I wish I was as happy now as I once used to be. You and me in a darkened room watching some old movie. You clapped to see some cowboys ride across a swollen river. The world was always black and white when we were still together. I thought our love would never die, for love should last forever. But you went on your separate way and crossed that swollen river. And as the years went rolling by, I thought you'd phone or write, and I often dreamt I saw your face in the small hours of the night. When you lay on that hospice bed, you couldn't even raise your head. We talked about the times we'd had, the good, the average, and the bad. This life is like a passing dream, but memories last forever. So we still see those cowboys ride across that swollen river. I wish I was as happy now as I once used to be. You and me in a darkened room, watching some old movie.
You have, Jim, but it's lovely to hear it again.
Oh, right, yeah, I had.
Yeah.
Thought I had. Right, so
Yeah, but
Yeah, I have heard it, but I thought you put music to it.
he did. He sung it once, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did
sung it.
sing
I
it, didn't he?
yeah,
Did,
I-
yeah, I
yeah.
thought so, yeah.
This is the Alzheimer gene which lurks, you know, seriously, actually. No, it's actually fact. I actually had a test, you know, and
Oh,
there's an Alzheimer gene
Mm.
somewhere there.
oh,
I've
I'm
got to
sorry.
watch it, yeah. But I mean, it didn't bother me that much at the moment.
No,
Yeah, there's another one called The Diva. Have you heard The Diva? I've done
I
the
haven't
Diva.
heard the diva. No, I haven't heard the
Diva.
diva. But
Yeah,
others
can I-
might have. But because you're
Yeah.
addressing all of us, and some heard
Yeah.
it and some may not.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Diva.
as in all good palindromes, I'm avid to hear the diva.
Yes,
Okay, I just, it's actually a song, and it's one actually.
happy to. Nick, I see what you did there, Nick.
The Diva. She can hear the awesome silence when she steps upon the stage, as she looks for love and kindness like a songbird in a cage. The theatre is her playpen and she's their favourite child. She blows a dozen kisses and the audience go wild. They've seen her on the covers of the latest magazine. She has many different lovers, but they rarely make the scene. She's the answer to their prayers and the woman of their dreams. They have no doubt about it, she's the best they've ever seen. And she is singing every love song like it was going out of style. There would never be another who could do it half so right. They wish she was their mother, they dream she was their child. She blows a dozen kisses and the audience go wild. She's a diva, believer, believer. But the years have raced away like a cloud of flying birds. The diva's voice is older now and the voice is seldom heard. The lovers are much fewer and they do not hang around. But the diva's eyes are shining and the spirit is unbowed. She still hears the awesome silence when she steps upon that stage, as she looks for love and kindness like a songbird in a cage. The theatre is her playpen and she's their favourite child. She blows a dozen kisses and the audience go wild. She's a diva, believer, believer. She's a diva, believer, 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 believer. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I mean, I can't sing, unfortunately. He's not been given the gift of a voice. Thank you.
Oh, you could do it to the Monkeys tune, and I'm a diva, I'm a believer. To do it to I'm a believer, I'm a diva.
But anybody's voice other than my own, yeah, it would actually possibly work.
No, it's all right, Jim. It's okay. We loved it. I can tell by all the
It sounded like a voice to me.
Yeah.
I mean, if that wasn't your voice, then you're a very skilled man.
It was my voice, unfortunately.
Yeah. As Mohammed,
I'll try and get someone else to sing one, actually, if you get a chance. If somebody, not now, but I mean, sometime in the future, I'd like someone else to have a try at singing something like that.
Yeah, we could
see what happens, if they can sing. Yeah, okay, yeah, thanks a lot, thanks.
Mm-hmm. If you give us the lyrics, we can try and do a tune to it.
Yeah.
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 Could maybe send them to Peter. People could send them around to us, and we could look at the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Mohammed's very good. He's very musical. Got a good voice.
Yeah, you could sing it.
Yeah, it might sound like Boris Johnson, though.
I'll send it to you.
You probably sound like a Beatles song in the end, coming from Mohammed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that could only be a good thing, I suppose.
Yeah. Anyone got any more for us, please? No. So it's Peter.
Right, I'm going to read a couple of poems by James Elroy Flecker, who's famous at the beginning of the 20th century. I have them marked. It's finding where they're. This is called Tenebris Interlucentem. A linnet who had lost her way sang on a blackened bough in hell, till all the ghost remembered well the trees, the wind, the golden day. At last they knew that they had died when they heard music in that land, and somewhere there stole forth a hand to draw a brother to his side. Ballad of the Londoner. Evening falls on the smoky walls, and the railings drip with rain, and I will cross the old river to see my girl again. The great and solemn gliding tram, love's still mysterious car, has many a light of gold and white and a single dark red star. I know a garden in a street which no one ever knew. I know a rose beyond the Thames where flowers are pale and few. And The Painter's Mistress. And still you paint, and still I stand, white and erect, the classic pose, and still, a soft-winged bee, your hand moves comrade of a glance that flows over my body like love's tide, and still the pale noon shadows glide. And still I hear each sound that falls, the wood that starts in the sun's heat, the mouse astir among the walls, while down the summer-smitten street a cart rolls lonely on. The hush tightens. I hear the flickering brush. So with sweet pain for hour on hour, I to your dark and roving eyes abandoned more than love had power to offer in love's mysteries. You see me with a deeper sight, veiled in faint air and gemmed with light. So shall the gaze of the soul-deep lover guide where the sun-ray darts and swims down from the shoulders, still discover the rose and iris of these limbs, low flames that haunt the curve and fold, and in dark hollow tresses gold. Finally, Envoy. The young men leap and toss their golden hair, run round the land or sail across the seas, but one was stricken with a sore disease, the lean and swarthy poet of despair. Know me, the slave of fear and death and shame, a sad comedian, a most tragic fool, shallow, imperfect, fashioned without rule, the doubtful shadow of a demon flame.
Wow. The Summer Smitten Streets. I like that. Summer Smitten Streets. Some lovely phrases in there. Demon Flame. Yeah, that's a good one, Mohammed. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Peter. But this lot is going to seem like disjointed because they are 13 haiku written at various points during 2022. Some were things that happened, some were things I was feeling during lockdown. So might take you back a little bit, some of these. Right, here we go. 13 haikus in 2022. Poetry was the small candle that flickered on in our dark places. After the heat, a few drops of rain promises for the golden grass. 1920s, the age of the flapper. 2020, we all flap. How can the minds of those who could not say goodbye ever be at ease? A knee on the neck, a death far away revives older abuses. Soon the grass will be studded with new stars for us to make daisy chains. Concentration has little point when it misses what is beyond sight. A grasshopper mind breaks you out of the prison in the wink of an eye. New awareness dawns of who is close enough to put us in danger. Do we stop having our say, desert our doorsteps, stop saying thank you? Mothers talk of the rising and falling sirens. We wait for the all clear. Will nostalgia grow for late nights attempting home delivery slots? A lot of hairy agoraphobics ventured out after lockdown. Those are just kind of disjointed haiku from that year. I'll do some modern ones, some new ones. Walking through the autumn meadow, my careless feet scatter seeds of so many full-blown flowers of weeds, and I think of the paradoxes on my path I go, that even such apparent destruction of once bright poppy and cornflower will result in the making of next year's bower. It's as if my walk was by divine instruction to bring forth new life from the fading plants, once they've had their moments of summer glory, and now move on to a newer story in the resurrection that next year grants. Here's another one. Softly something strokes my face, perhaps a spider thread on the breeze. What else would visit me in this place? What else would cause me such unease? Now I hear a rustling from above, a sparrow's flight on the beech tree leaves. Why am I thinking of a long lost love as I gaze at the field and the gathered sheaves? Is it autumn that brings such moods, a sense of gathering up the past, like a squirrel seeking winter foods, seeking nourishment meant to last? To live through a time of emptiness, when the cold wind blows in the barren wood, when all that's recalled is a sweet caress from summers gone when times were good. To walk these lanes is to walk in reflection with the waving grasses, the moss and ferns, the mouldering berries past time for collection, as life's events queue to take their turns. Right, that's it. That'll do.
Is it possible, Mohammed, to send give you my email and you and we exchange emails, and if I've got something, I'll send it to you, and you could contact me and sing it and whatever, that sort of thing. Is that okay with you? Or,
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, sure. I should give you it now then. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My email is on the for this James Alderson.
Yeah, I got your email. Yeah.
Oh, you've got my email.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I
I
know
got
I
your
actually.
email. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I think you sent me a link. Basically,
right.
what you need to do is just give me the text, and then I can work.
Yeah. So yeah. So I've not got yours. Your email, I think. So if you send yours to me,